Welcome to the newest episode of Secret Sawce. We got Liam Shish and Camille Benoit interviewing Martin Hyu. Hope this changes your life.
Yeah, a little bit of backstory about myself. Was born and raised in Montreal, was always kind of artistic, so drew a lot when I was a kid. Picked up photography probably when I was 16 or something, just because I inherited a lot of stuff from my older brother. And just made a decision when I was in university to go into graphic design. So did my minor in graphic design and major in marketing. And halfway through the program, I just started going to restaurants to build up my portfolio as a photographer and all that stuff. So I did a lot of photo shoots for free for friends of my brother that's 9 years older. And eventually, I just saw that there was an opportunity to open something within the marketing sphere of hospitality, which is a creative agency, like a social media agency. And at that time, it was the main figure that was preaching that was Ty Lopez. So, bought his course, which was SMMA, I think, and from there, the rest is history. I eventually stayed in that industry for 10 years now and opened some restaurants along the way.
Yeah, that's super interesting that you're one of the first people that hopped on the wave of SMMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually really curious about that, about the statistics, because you open restaurants and that's even how we met. Mm-hmm. The statistic of the 80% of restaurants that closed in the first year they opened. How did you feel about that, and what did you do to prevent that from happening to you?
Well, I think when you have a good group of people that's working with you, it gets way easier. I would never open a restaurant just by myself because I can't cook for shit, I can't, we can swear.
Yeah.
Can't cook for shit, I can't, I'm not that good with management. Yeah. I hate confrontation, I don't want to fire people, So I'm good at one thing, I'm good at marketing. So it's getting the right people together and the right concept, and I never seeked out to open a restaurant. The first one we opened is called Fleur et Cadeau, and then we opened downstairs a sound bar called Sans Soleil, which is a vinyl only sound bar. It's on Saint-Aubin, in Chinatown. And the recent one where we met is Garden Room on Bishop. It's a Thai restaurant. But I never my point is just I never expected to do those things. They just happen by serendipity because people offered me opportunities to invest with them.
That's awesome. That's incredible. I envy you for that, and I'm absolutely going to take a look at the one in Chinatown. And how do you end up in the same room even as Gary Vee?
NFTs.
NFTs is Gary Vee as well? That's crazy. Can you explain a little bit to the camera what you do about NFTs?
Yeah, NFTs, it's, I think it was just before COVID, I have heard about NFTs through, because I'm in marketing, I'm always curious about new technologies and all that stuff. And Gary he started talking about it on his podcast pretty early on. And most people were they just brushed it off. They were NFTs. And I just saw him make more and more content around that. And I knew that whenever that guy is talking about something, when Gary talks about something, you probably would want to listen and hop on it pretty quickly. So I just started doing my research, and it was perfect when the pandemic hit because we all had more time on our hands. I didn't have to go to meetings or anything, so just searching how do you set up a wallet, how do you get Ethereum, which was a big fucking problem.
I don't even know how you got Ethereum in Canada.
At that time, yeah.
I remember it was really tough. Before the Bitcoin ATMs, I was fighting for my life trying to get some Bitcoin.
Yeah, because the only way to get it, what was the website again?
MoonPay?
No, it was not even MoonPay.
Binance?
So eventually I used Binance, but at first I used another I think it was MetaMask. Basically, you could use on your MetaMask wallet. There was an option that you could just buy crypto on there. But you
from a credit card?
From we couldn't do it with credit card because we're in Canada. So I learned that you could get a Visa Interact. It's I think it's an online Visa Interact or something. So I went to RBC to ask for it, and it worked. It worked for the first day. I think I bought $150 of it, and then the second day they just blocked it. They're
what?
Yeah, because they're oh, you can't. We don't support.
But how did you do it? Because even now I don't know how I would do it from my phone. I would have to either ask a friend to send me some, or like put it in the ATM?
Yeah, so what I did was I figured out that you could go on Binance and do, I think it's called peer-to-peer. So basically you're sending them an e-transfer, and then that until they actually send you the funds in your Binance wallet. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think we are still early in the NFTs and?
Well, super early. Yeah, super early. I mean, there's no mainstream adoption yet. So like all the possibilities are still there.
That's the moment to open right now.
I think so, because like the hype also died down. Like there was a moment where like you saw like headlines of this NFT sold for like $5 million, you know?
Yeah. My friend bought like a picture of a gorilla and made 50,000, and then he lost it in a rug fold like 5 minutes after. Yeah, that's like one thing I'm really curious about, especially NFTs. I know nothing about it. Like crypto, you have your main coins. Right. You have like Bitcoin, and then like under that you have Ethereum, then like Solana, like all of the random stuff. But is there any like sort of stable NFT?
Well, there's NFTs that obviously like stood the test of time, or they're probably like the first collection is the CryptoPunks, like we talked about earlier. Then eventually like the second biggest collection that came out was Bored Ape Yacht Club, which eventually like the founders of Bored Ape actually bought CryptoPunks. So it was a wise decision from their side, because now they have like the two biggest ecosystem within NFTs to build worlds on. Yeah. And I think the biggest takeaway that I got from NFTs is like it's the picture itself is just a facade, right? Like I'm not like a big fan of like the Bored Ape art per se.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that you're part of that community, and that community gives you access to builders, to creators, to artists.
Builders?
Yeah, builders in the Web3 ecosystem, the people that are super curious about that technology. You know what I mean? Like it's I think that's where the value comes from. It's not because you have that in your wallet, you know. It's the little like mini gatherings that they make in different cities. We talked about NFT NYC, like Bored Ape always throws a party there. And during NFT NYC, and if you have a Bored Ape, then you can, because it's token gated, you have to show that you actually own the token to get in. Well, I mean, Snoop Dogg has a Bored Ape, so you could meet Snoop Dogg, you know? Like it's.
Or you met Gary Vee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's game right here, guys. That's game.
That's absolute game.
For people who know not what.
No, was it?
I'm
Jerry's first, Jerry's.
I'm sorry. For people who know nothing about NFTs, what should they do to start enter this community?
Well, I mean, first of all, like learn how to set up a wallet. I mean, it's not super hard. Like learn how to like actually buy a hardware wallet. Educate yourself on like security concerns.
You can buy that in a Best Buy or something like that?
Well, you can just buy it directly from that from the website of Ledger. Like that's the company that makes in my opinion, like the safest and the best hardware wallets. But it's just like educate yourself, you know, like that's what I did, like YouTube and all that stuff. Like it's not that complicated.
You can put NFTs in a ledger?
Yeah.
Wow. The way that we like networking the most, that we found was the most efficient, is just going to restaurants and just like sparking conversations with people. That's how we met the highest like net worth individuals. Not necessarily even net worth, just like the people that could open the most doors for us. So now we met you, right? Do you think buying NFTs is another way that's as efficient or more efficient than that?
Yeah, because it's all about, I think it's as efficient, it's just different avenues to explore, but they're as efficient. Because at the end of the day, you're dealing with people, you're connecting with other people, whether it's a community that you get because you're going on a night out at a restaurant, that's a community of people that's there. Yeah. You enter that community and you can make links, like, you know, that's up to you, you have to be proactive. But it's the same thing with NFTs. Like a lot of people hold these NFTs but never go to the conferences, never go to the gatherings.
That's
of course that they don't get the value that they want from it.
Yeah, but 100%. Do you think that, because that's one thing that I don't understand, is the liquidity aspect of NFTs. And you're not here just to talk about NFTs, but while we're on the subject, when you buy an NFT initially, the goal in order for you to make money is to buy it for cheap and then sell it for high. Do you think it would make sense even for you to buy it for high?
Well, yeah, you never know when it's high, you know. If we could actually time the market to know like, hey, this is the high or this is the low,
Yeah.
then we'll all be like billionaires, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is just, I think it comes back to like playing with money you're not afraid to lose.
Okay.
Like if for you it's worth spending, I don't know, 2K, 5K on an NFT to give you access to something because you're really
It only costs 5K?
No, I mean I'm saying like that's a random number.
But like for a board ape, you think like 5K makes sense?
No, I think like now they're I don't know what's the floor price on a Bored Ape right now, but last because I've been a little bit like removed from NFTs like in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
But back then it was what like at the peak it was probably like 160 ETH, which was like 500K.
That's pretty high.
Well, like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because like even Proof, the founder of Proof, like Kevin Rose, I got his NFT, which was a Proof Collective. That's his NFT project, which was a 1,000 person members club. So in there you had Gary, you had Tim Ferriss, you had like there were a lot of like cool people in there. So I made it my point to like buy that NFT like very early on. I think it cost me about like it was like 2 ETH or something, 2.5. And at the time, like ETH was around 5K, so it was still 10K to get in, you know.
Yeah.
But I scrambled resources to get in, and at the peak of that, like I think Proof Collective was worth like, it was something like 180, 190 ETH, like somewhere around there.
It's absolutely
It was
bananas.
ridiculous. I didn't sell it. I didn't sell it at the top. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
But is it still? Do you still have like premium members like that to this day, in the collective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do photography, you do NFTs, you have a restaurant. How do you organize your time to be effective?
That's a great question. I think I do my best, you know, like, and I don't judge myself for it, like if I'm not like perfectly efficient. But the good thing about how I set up the ventures that I choose to attack and move forward on, they're all kind of connected. So whether it's the podcast or restaurants, or like I open restaurants, but I only do the marketing. So it ties in with my marketing agency, which already has restaurant, hotel.
Oh, you still have your marketing agency?
Yeah, of course. That's my main thing. What I do, like.
That's crazy saying it's your main thing when you already own 2 restaurants.
Yeah, but I mean that's my involvement with restaurants.
Yeah.
So I still have
100%.
to like work on the craft of being at the edge of marketing. But yeah, so it's that obviously like very tied in. The personal brand aspect, like I always thought it was important because, like, I think people trust you more when you actually delivered results to yourself. You know, like if I can't market myself, like how will I market your restaurant?
Yeah, 100%.
So it all ties in.
Shit, that's good. That's a good asset. You just give us game to organize your time, because honestly, I'm not good at it, and I'm trying to be the best at it. And someone like you who do something like this, NFTs, podcast, restaurant, marketing agency, photography, that's really inspired me, and that made me think that is possible. Yeah. And something that I like about you is that you are a creative businessman. So my passion it's manga. So what I want to do is to draw manga and do nothing else.
Yeah.
But for that, what I choose is to be financially free before giving in my passion. But what you did both of them together, and you live and your passion right now. So yeah.
I think one aspect that I always keep in mind, one idea that I always keep in mind is that everything you pursue has to either, it's kind of like a Venn diagram, right? So
Venn diagram.
Yeah, Venn diagram where like circles overlap. So,
Okay.
So I kind of see it as 3 circles. Like there's one circle where it's like what you love to do. The other circle is what you're actually good at. And the third circle is what makes you money. So if you can find that sweet spot where all 3 come together, that's where you're going to be happiest. Because a lot of people are like, oh, this is going to make me a lot of money, and I love it, but they suck at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
It
love.
worked for a little pump, lah. It worked for a little pump.
Really?
Like Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Oh, wait, okay, yeah, true. I mean,
Discriminatory humor. I like your the way that you see things. It's so simple, and it's the same content in your brain than like most of these other like serious student type businessmen. It's clearly more efficient because it comes from more passion and just like it just seems like a smoother ride.
yeah, because
For you.
well, it's just I take advice. There's some that I internalize. There's some that I leave out of the door. You know, like anything. There's books that I read that I love the concepts, but I don't necessarily resonate with that. And there's others that I really resonate with. But I think it's just like as you move forward, you find what you like as a philosophy of life. And I've always liked to balance both, like the creative, but also like the hardcore hustling mentality of like, let's get it. You know, I don't want to be like the creative that's just like, hey, at some point, it's gonna happen, you know.
Let's smoke weed and
But nothing against weed. Like, I mean, you know, whatever makes you happy. But it's just like, I think you still have to. It's like the yin and yang. You know, like you have to know when to get on it and when to relax.
We know why we wanted to start a podcast. What was your reason?
But I'll let you guys tell me about it first.
For sure, but we have an ultimate goal for our community for like monetization, but one of the things that we like the most right now is the network aspect, because now we have something to offer to like people that are higher than us.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Was that your reasoning?
Yeah, pretty much.
The thing too is that I see the mainstream people, that streamers, YouTubers, they like, I don't know, they do not educate the young. So, you know, Speed, Kai, they just go, wah, rah. They do some crazy thing. And what was taken about is to be mainstream, but to educate people to the way to become successful and make them a better person. So that's one way to why we did Secret Sawce. And guys, I'm sorry, my English is not good, but yeah.
Your English is awesome. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, like, I really resonate with what you're saying. It's the same for me. Like, I think that plus, it's cool when you see yourself on camera.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn what your different tics are, or like when you're talking, are there a lot of ums and ahs? So I started out actually like doing my podcast by myself, so I was editing the episodes, you know. And what that helped me with was I knew like how I was talking to the guest at certain points. Like, was my voice like, was my intonation nice when I was speaking? And a lot of times, like the first podcast I did, I was like, oh yeah, like this part I don't like that much.
With
that one,
Thierry?
Yeah. But I was comfortable with Thierry because we already knew each other from before. But I guess you learn the things you could improve on.
Yeah.
And that helps with your social skills, like your social life, that helps your business. So it's all tied in together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How did Thierry change your life? And what value did he bring to you, and what value did you bring to him?
I think, Thierry, I got to know him, I forgot how I met him. I think it was at the conference he threw, like one of his first conferences where he invited Casey Neistat.
Can you tell to the camera who is Thierry?
Yeah, Thierry Lindor, like he used to own like Remax Griffintown, but he's like he was a real estate broker and everything, and now he's working a lot like with everything that's he got into politics and everything a little bit, and he's working now a lot with AI. But that's a little bit of background story. But he was also throwing a lot of conferences because he knew so many people as a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
So he invited Casey Neistat to speak to Montreal, and I think that's where I kind of met him. I went up and I said hi, and eventually he was like, I think at that time I wanted to do some content for him, like at the conferences as a photographer. So I was like, hey, if ever you need some photographers, I'm down to work with you. And eventually, at that time, I was also thinking about starting a podcast. So I asked him, and he said yes. So that's how we connected.
Did you end up making content for him?
Yeah. I actually like did photography and videography at a couple of his conferences.
Is that the basis on which you, what came first? Was it the photography / videography, or was it the podcast?
Photography.
Yeah?
Yeah, photography and videography, I believe.
And it was by spending time with him doing his photography that then you convinced him to podcast?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. From what I recall, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much, that's like a recipe that we see very often is you find a way to bring value to someone and then you spend enough time with them and they get to see you're serious and then you get to offer them whatever you want to offer them.
And also, like, I always think about degrees of separation. Like, we're always like 1 or 2% away from the person that we really want to meet.
Yeah.
And so you never know who's there at the conference, sitting next to you, you know? Like, it could be the person that's like, let's say in the case of Thierry, like maybe it's their best friend. And if you talk to that person, they're like, hey, I would love for you to meet XYZ. So that's how I think about it.
During our discussion, you speak a lot of good quote, and I'm gonna do a switch back to you. What is a quote that you live by?
Man, that's so tough. Because I feel like there's so many in my head.
Well, one, just one that you live by.
I think it's from Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. Oh, Nietzsche, yeah.
Nietzsche. He says that convictions are greater enemies of truths than lies. So,
damn. Can you deep?
so his idea is that whatever we're convinced of, it's probably more detrimental to us than lies.
God damn.
So it's just like constantly reevaluating what you believe. I think that's what I live by.
Wow. And where do you think that applies?
Like, there's a lot of stuff that I believe that, let's say we talk about marketing. Like, I believe that this works right now because it used to work last year.
Okay,
But that's not true anymore because what got you here won't get you there. So it's just this mentality of constantly, I guess, like questioning what you believe, I think that got me further along the way, like in relationships as well, Because a lot of times when you're convinced that you're a good guy or like you did your best or whatever, like it's like if you're willing to take a step back and look at yourself, that's where you make the most progress, I think.
And that is something that is really important to me. Is comment dire ça? Un esprit critique. How do you say that in English?
Yeah,
Critical
critical
thinking.
Yeah.
Critical thinking, and I think that a lot of people our age lack of that. Myself too. Before I lack a lot of critical thinking, and I see you, and I'll observe that you have critical thinking. So, how can young people can acquire critical thinking?
I'm not that critical, by the way.
You
like,
think so?
Yeah, I mean, I work on it, but I think what helps is, so I consume a lot of like podcasts, like from people like Gary and all that stuff. Like I think that helps a lot because it sets a different tone in your head. Of instead of just like the people that you're talking to on a daily basis, you get different references. But also, I love books. You know, I probably read like a book a week or something. So.
For real?
Yeah.
How do you do? I try. I swear I try. How do you read one book?
You set out a time. So like mine
How much time you set up per day?
Like 30 minutes.
Huh?
30 minutes to finish like a seventh of a book?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I don't read every word. Like and there's and what I'm okay with is also dropping a book if I don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
What is the best, like, 3 of the best book you read?
So Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah.
Crazy book.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Love that. The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Oh, I didn't really get
Yeah, that one is pretty like eye-opening just because he says you really only have to get good at one thing. Like 95% of the wealth that you're gonna make is from that one area that you mastered in your life. So that one is the second one, and I think like coming back to again like Marcus Aurelius, I really love Stoicism. So Seneca on the Shortness of Life is a small book that I really love as well.
That book made me depressed, but yeah. What book did impact you the most?
Oh man, what book that impacted me the most? Yeah, I would have to say like it's Meditations by Martin Hyu. Just because like every time I revisit it, I probably read it twice a year. But every time I revisit it, I get different insights.
And it's like a self-help type of book?
It's basically the diary of the most powerful man in the world at that time. He was the emperor of Rome. And it was his personal diary that was, it was never intentioned to be released. So it was just notes to himself, but what's powerful about it is that the problems he had back then are still relevant to, like it's exactly the same problems.
Damn, that's crazy.
This guy is a G, bro. Yo, he was dying, he's like, yeah, I don't care if you're
So good, bro.
He doesn't care, bro, he's a G. So, là on a fini, on va juste faire comme 2 minutes de pause. Après une autre 30 minutes, après on a fini.
Sounds good.
Tu veux du café?
Ah non, c'est bon, je prends.
Moi, il faut que je me réveille, t'as vu, je suis awkward.
De l'eau? Tu veux de l'eau?
Oui, c'est pas lui.
J'ai vu son nom. Le famous boost de. C'est quoi le gars là? Le CEO de Value Entertainment. Le gars qui a introduit.
Oh, Bet David.
Patrick Bet David.
Ah, yeah.
Il a écrit un livre, il
Trop fresh, pas là.
C'est incroyable.
Ouais, bah c'est lui qui own l'équipe de. Comment t'appelles ça?
Yeah, l'équipe de foot là.
Yeah, no, I think it's baseball, right?
Je sais pas, mais c'est one
I
of
think
his cool
he owns like the New York.
God damn.
Yeah.
Power. Actually, Mastery de Robert Greene. I don't know if you.
Yeah, of course.
You read it?
Yeah, I read it, and also like he has one with 50 Cent.
The 50th year?
Well, it's Robert Greene and 50 Cent together. Like,
What the fuck?
well, it's like
That's more right.
Yeah, great character.
I think it's called the 50th Law.
Tu l'as lu?
Ouais. C'est cool. C'est
Est-ce que je devrais le lire?
ouais. C'est parce que it's the mix of Robert Greene, but also like the street knowledge of 50 Cent. Mais il fait trop rire 50.
For real?
Genre sur Instagram et tout ça, ce qu'il poste.
Oh, ouais,
Il est trop savage.
Est-ce qu'avec ce 50 posts sur IG?
Non, bro.
Bro, ce gars est savage. Attends, je vais avec mon phone.
C'est un businessman, 50?
Non, bah oui.
For real?
Mais c'est lui qui a parti Vitamin Water and he sold it flavored and...
T'as déjà bu Vitamin Water?
Ouais.
Do we agree it's not that good là?
Non, c'est tellement de l'eau avec du sucre.
C'est ça.
Bro, 50 c'est le plus gros businessman du monde, bro.
Mais Shaq aussi, à Skip, il est overpowered.
Ouais, chaque est.
Yeah. It's like, it's all these random people que tu penserais pas. Mais attention, il y a du feu à côté, bro.
Tu sais que tu penses sur... C'est ça, c'est 50 qui pense ça, bro. Parce qu'en ce moment, Didi a un trial for like, I don't know, sexual traffic.
Don't we all? Ouais,
Ouais,
continue. Moi, je veux juste avoir quelque chose que je peux
Ou
dire.
faire quelque chose que j'aime.
Comme ça. Côté Kevin. Côté Kevin.
Yeah.
Côté Kevin.
Oh, c'est cool que you're into like everything like manga and all that.
Toi aussi?
Bah ouais, je te disais, je dessinais avant. Like,
Mais c'est à cause des mangas, tu dis?
like comic books and mangas, yeah.
Nice. Moi aussi, c'est pour ça. Hein.
Ouais.
J'ai dessiné, mais après, je suis comme, bon, il faut que je devienne riche. Je pense pas que je peux vivre de ça.
Moi, je savais même pas ça, bro. Ça
Tu sais pas ça?
Mm.
C'est pas un bail que je dis souvent, genre, rarement, genre.
T'as peur?
Et je
que
dis,
j'aime.
non, mais comme juste que je dis
Même moi,
pas,
j'ai
genre.
commencé à dessiner aussi.
Hein?
Mais moi, je savais même
J'avais
pas.
arrêté de dessiner avant.
Wow. J'ai un boy qui a fait son manga, bro.
Oh ouais.
Yeah, I swear. Et Insane, ça s'appelle Into the Dragon.
Bon,
Ouais,
au
c'est
sein
quoi,
de
je
je
dirais?
lis, bro.
Il y a comme, ben, il y a un
Manga.
moule chez lui, il a genre
Dragon
8 exemplaires
Dragon
de
Ball.
manga.
Bah ouais, mais
Classic.
évidemment, of
Classic.
course.
Lequel?
C'est quoi ton manga préféré?
Yeah, probably Dragon Ball.
Dragon
Yeah,
Ball?
yeah.
Ok, le manga, pas l'animé.
Pas
Mais c'est
animé.
un manga.
Bro, animé.
Ouais, ouais.
Mais check Dragon Ball Kai.
Yeah, ça j'ai checké. Bro, genre, halfway into watching Dragon Ball, il y a mon boy qui me dit que Dragon Ball Kai ça existe. Dragon Ball, bro, t'as comme ça prend 8 épisodes pour qu'ils disent genre 2 mots.
Il power up.
Quand il power up, il y a un épisode au complet où il power up. Il est comme ça tout le long, et puis genre, oh, the power of the trees, pour 1 heure, oh, the trees, the sand, the trucs.
Ah, c'est déjà commencé.
C'est déjà commencé.
Oh, for
Ah
real?
ouais? Ça, I don't think it's good.
But that's good content.
Ouais.
You like to see it.
One coffee break later, cheese.
On était rendu où là?
Oui, j'avais actually une vraiment bonne question pour toi, surtout marketing wise. What marketing strategies did not work, or do you not believe in? Ta-ta.
I mean, they all work. They all kind of work. It's just like it shifts and flows because like certain things are more underpriced at certain point, and other things are overpriced. Fait quand tu vois, when you see like there's a big hype around something, let's say influencers. You know what I mean? Like there's really good influencers, and there's influencers that might not fit that well with your brand. And it's just like you have to be able to filter the collaboration that's going to bring you the most like ROI on your investment. You know?
Do you utilize UGC in your user-generated content?
Yeah.
For your marketing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't want it to sound too pushy. You know, like I don't want to be like, hey, come and take a photo at my restaurant, and if you tag us, I'll give you a shot. You know? What I prefer is just naturally building up so much brand that people get attracted to come to your place and take pictures by themselves and just post it.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm asking them like to, you know, take out your phone and take a picture of your cocktail, you know.
Wow. So you, wow.
I think it's just like about putting the most chips on your side, the most chances on your side that the person will actually want to talk about your place. So that means like you focus on making a place a beautiful place. You focus on getting a really nice cocktail list. That's super important. Focus like on having the chef get the best ingredients, but also present it in a way where people would want to take photos. And make sure your lighting in the restaurant allows for good photos, because there's so many restaurants that don't take that into consideration. So all the photos look like terrace photos, you know, like, like a flash on.
Gas the tunnel.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had a great question, but I forget it. God damn.
The coffee didn't hit you.
No.
I thought, let me drink the coffee.
Yeah, me neither. It's like a quadrillion degrees. So
Yeah. I got it.
Very efficient coffee.
Yeah, as a leader, how do you attain operation excellence? How do you attain a good service for a client, and how do you make sure that the operation is excellence and sustain during a long period of time, not just 1 year, but 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
You mean specifically in the restaurant industry?
In the restaurant industry and the marketing agency, everywhere, how do you attain operation excellence for a long period of time?
I believe like you have to practice what you preach. So like the people that work with you, they have to see that you're willing to do the things that you ask them to do as well.
Lead by example.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like at my restaurant, like as much as a lot of times we're short on certain things, like I can see details that maybe somebody missed, maybe I missed it, but if I see it, I will do it, so that even the staff, if they see that, the next time they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
I have to pay attention to this. I have to make sure the bathrooms are always clean. I have to make sure that like if I walk past like a table and I have nothing in my hands, I know I can always pick something up. Or at the very least like have a carafe of water to pour water for like the cups that only have the bottom.
Yeah.
But all those things, it's like it plays into the experience.
As someone who worked in a whole bunch of restaurants as a busboy, there's nothing that makes you hate the boss more than when he's lazy and he asks you for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if he's in front of something and he's like, pick this up, and I already have like a million plates, I'm like, I won't pick you.
That's true.
Yeah, so you have like, I think you approach every problem, but I can't speak for every problem, but from everything you've said and from like the aura that you're giving out, you seem to have like very simple solutions to complex problems.
I think the most of life is simple. It's just we make it complicated. Like we know what the answer is. You know, like,
I totally agree with you. It's like stopping to smoke, for example. It's a one-step plan.
Yeah.
Like just one step is you don't put a cigarette in your mouth.
Right.
And somehow like it sounds complicated. It's like, oh, put a patch here, and then I'm not just stop smoking.
I mean, we're very good at rationalizing our weaknesses and our shortcomings.
You know,
Like I was not able to do this because of that and because of this and because of that. And at the end, like when you take accountability, I think that's when you start moving the ball forward like way quicker.
do you know about character arc and stories? Like, or is it structure?
I'm sorry, what did you say like earlier?
Do you know about character arc and stories, like character development?
Okay, character art, yeah.
All I see two of you is the flag character arc. So the flag character arc is someone who does not evolve. It's like Luffy, Goku, Gon, like someone who does not have character development. Why? Because they have the true inside of them, and they all see everything so simple, so good, and it's not it's not you who evolve, but the world around you who evolve, and I think that is very inspiring. And I think the two of you think similar. You see things so simple. Me, bro, I just see complex things. I just overthink, and yeah, I want to attain that.
Yeah, but you psych yourself out if you're overthinking. Like a lot of times you just know what to do. Like it's the same thing like when you're talking to a stranger. Like maybe it's a girl that you want to meet. Maybe it's a person that you want to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just have to say hi, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It's simple but complex.
I would not put myself in the same boat as you, because you is like proven to work for you and hasn't yet proven to work for me.
yeah, it's just practice, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I've had countless rejections. I cried myself to sleep and all.
For real?
No.
I personally, I'm not even slightly scared of like failure.
Mm-hmm.
For real?
Yeah. Failure, I really don't care. Bro, if I fail, I just start again and make it work.
Yeah, you realize like what's the worst that can happen, you know?
You die and your family die.
I mean,
Damn.
maybe not that failure, you know?
Yeah.
But most of the things like we fear, I mean, like what's the worst if you're talking to a person and they reject you or they don't want to talk to you? Well,
Yeah.
fine, there's 100 other people you can just go talk to.
But you know, when you talk about that, you say you find me. I'm talking about okay, she's going to talk to her, and her will know that, and after I will be like, goddamn, I'm Snapchat stories, one give you.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, maybe don't do it in the context of like a small classroom, you know?
Yeah.
But also like it's just, yeah, like if you want to practice that, like practice it with strangers that don't know you.
Yeah.
You can go to a conference where you know no one and you just start talking to people. What are you gonna do? They're gonna film you and post it on Snapchat? Like, this guy talked to me and he was so awkward.
Where did you get that mindset? Was it always there?
No, like I told you, I was an introvert, so it's just you have to develop it.
Do you think you transform to an extrovert, or you're just an introvert that has like confidence or a goal?
Yeah, I think I'm still introvert, but I can turn it on when I want now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's something you did very well, by the way. The way you approached us, it was like super casual, chill.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about hospitality too, is that it teaches you that. It teaches you to give people a good time and not like intrude on them. Like I can go talk to anyone, and if I see like there's a slightest, I don't know, like there's the slightest like pushback, or maybe the person needs their space, they want to be with their friends, I'm just like, hey, nice to meet you, like, you know, we'll talk later. I'm not like standing there and just being like, okay, now I'm just talking to you, you know?
Yeah. Here, time now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a mistake, like I think a lot of dudes make, like especially like if we're talking about like approaching girls.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you go to talk to that one girl and eventually you never leave her and she's just like, okay, maybe you're standing here too long, you know?
I'm in the bathroom, why?
Okay. And I see that you always say that the way you talk, you're good at analyzing social cues.
Yeah.
To see if that person like that or not. Is by practice, I presume?
Yeah, at first you obviously like there's some practical tips of what you can look at, but eventually it becomes like internal, you know. Like if I'm talking to you and I get closer and I see that you're maybe like you're it's not like you're fidgeting, but like maybe you're tensing up your shoulders or you take a little step back. Like, I understand that, okay, you know what, I'll take a step back.
Okay. And how did it help you in the business world?
Well, it's good because a lot of times, like everything you want in life comes from human interactions.
Yeah.
So when you're conversing with someone that you want to meet as a friend or someone you want to do business with, I perceive it the same way. People do business with people that they trust, and if you can get to that trust quicker, you're gonna close the deal quicker.
Okay. And how do you look at as someone that you want to do a business with him? What's your criteria?
I've never actually thought about that, but it's just like I'm a person that's all about like the vibe that we get together. If I feel like when we spend time together, we're almost like friends. All my business partners are like my friends, you know? So it's not just, oh, you're really good at that, I want to start a business with you. Like we've known each other. For example, the restaurant that you went to, Garden Room, Pascal, which is my business partner, and his wife Pamika, which is the chef of the place. We went to Thailand 4 times together before we actually opened that restaurant. Because I was taking content for them, for their other restaurants, and eventually like it just made sense for them to involve me as a partner to do their marketing.
Yeah, your story inspired me because you get to that place because of compound effect, of constant effort. You do that here, you do that here, and it came back to you from new opportunity. And I think it's really inspiring.
Well, it's just you're planting seeds, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I approach it. Like I'm not like waiting on that particular seed to sprout or bloom or whatever. Like I'm just planting a couple of seeds, and eventually you see like what's working, what's not working, and you pursue that venue.
Someone who wants to be successful, okay, a young person like our audience, 18, 17, 16, what seed they can, how do I say that, planted, how do I say planted?
What seeds can they plant?
Can they plan to attain your result? Or even more?
Well, I mean, yeah, my results are okay, like they're not, but it's also like everyone's different, like what you want to do and all that stuff. But yeah, I think like saying yes to everything first. Yeah, at first
What do you mean by that?
that's probably what I did. Well, meaning like every opportunity that came my way that was related to my domain, I said yes to. Wow. Even if I didn't know how to do it, I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, that's something that you told us to do.
Yeah.
You said like when you start outreaching, the first client you're gonna get is not gonna be your ideal client, but it's gonna be one that's gonna open doors.
Yeah, and even if the client is like, I don't know, I'll give you an example. Like, so I had a client that said, hey, I love like the photos you do and everything, but do you know how to do video? And I didn't know how to do video, and he needed me to film like an event for like the week after, and I learned how to handle like, a video camera in like a week. I mean, it wasn't great, but I was able to make a video out of it, you know. And eventually that opened new doors. But if I just said no, I can't do video.
Yeah.
You know?
And at the end now, do you offer video services?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main thing I do now. It's a lot of video around like food and beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you shoot the videos with your phone or with cameras?
With cameras, with the.
Because it's for shorts.
I mean, it depends. Like, yes, a lot of it is for shorts and reels, but a lot of it is also like, for example, we just filmed something for Succes, which is like it was like a private dinner event.
Yeah.
And because it was a client of mine that hosted that dinner, well, I got to shoot for that team, you know. But that was more like a little short movie.
Shit. That's a masterclass material.
Yeah, you did exactly what you said like 5 times in a row, which is like you just offer people value from your time, and then eventually you'll get like just more opportunities, get to know more people, like get more people to trust you, and then that's just what brings you to the top.
But what is it, so if I ask a question to you guys, like what are tangible things right now that you can do to accelerate that process, you know, like in terms of outreach, in terms of experiences, how can you get more opportunities to come to you, you know?
But me, what I was thinking about is outreach, how do I say that, propriétaire, owners of real estate, because yeah, we didn't do that enough. because we thought it was hard to find, but you and someone others give us way to outreach them. So to accelerate the process, I think is to outreach more real estate owners, and me personally is to put more hours in the application that I'm creating. More hours. Yeah, I'm busy, I have school, I have this, but fuck it, put more hours, sleep like 2 hours a night and just do it.
2 hours too much.
Yeah, so I think that's what we have to do to accelerate the process. And doing podcasts with the people like you, when we do podcasts, we learn a lot of people. We learn a lot about people, and we can like execute it. And yeah, I think with doing more podcasts, it would help us.
For sure, it's a great avenue, like in terms of, well, again, like networking, but also like bettering your social skills and your conversation skills.
Yeah.
Has it opened doors for you, podcasting?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like
For sure.
some that you can share with us, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give you a simple example. Like if I say, hey, go check out my podcast, and they see that I've had Gary Vee on,
Yeah.
they're like, that automatically, even if they don't know anything about me, they know that like, oh, he's probably like some professional person I would love to work with at some point.
Yeah. If Gary Vee trusted him, I'm not gonna be stupid enough not to trust him.
Well, like that's what we do, you know. At the end, like, what are the clothes we wear? What do they tell about us? Why do people want to have a Louis Vuitton bag and a Gucci shirt? It's because of what that brand represents. And it's the same thing with people. When they see you next to someone that they respect, that respect transfers onto you.
Do you believe in designer brands?
I believe in good marketing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good answer, not gonna lie. Because I see you're not wearing anything like
No.
like just too flashy. It's not something you do.
I mean, I like simple, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I wear all black just because, like, I don't want to waste my willpower in the morning thinking about what to wear.
Even in the summer,
Huh?
you were all back even in the summer.
Yeah.